welcome your host, Pwamps.
Oh, hey everybody. Welcome to the Pwamps Show and welcome to Pwamps Place, the best restaurant in town. What are we going to do on the Pwamps Show, the entertainment version? Well, here's what's going to happen. First, we're going to start out each episode by breaking down the news. What's going on in Hollywood? What's going on in the entertainment industry? You'll get all the scoop of that right here. Then, we're going to talk about a movie that's coming to theaters this weekend. It'll be a new one every week, and it may even be a movie that's returning for an anniversary, which is like our movie we have this weekend. Then, we're going to talk about a movie that's coming next week. As you can see, coming soon. To my right, that's actually Hamilton this week. We'll get into that later. Then, our final segment will be, we're going to go all the way back, maybe even to the Golden Age, and pick a movie that we're all going to watch and then discuss on the next episode of the show. But for now, we're going to dive into some entertainment news. We're going to start with one that's kind of been circulating the past couple days, which I really hope isn't true. I don't believe it's true, but there have been some conflicting reports. TMZ put a report out that Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, their relationship might have been a hoax, a little publicity stunt from The Naked Gun. They both starred in the movie The Naked Gun. The original was with Leslie Nielsen, and I love the original. The new one, pretty good, but not as good as the original for me. Anyway, Liam Neeson plays Frank Drebin Jr., that's Leslie Nielsen's son, and he meets Pamela Anderson, helps her solve this murder, and they eventually get together and fall in love and end up together in the movie. They also, apparently, had some good chemistry on set, and hey, it looks like it's all sunshine and rainbows for Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Well, maybe not. Like I said, TMZ releases this report. It might have been a hoax. Now, I really hope not, and I don't think so, because Liam Neeson, okay, he seems like a guy, he always told everybody, Natasha Richardson, she was my one, okay? He's a widower now. It was tragic what happened to Natasha Richardson. She starred in The Parent Trap, a lot of great movies. He said he would always sit down with his two sons, and they would just watch her. When they miss her, they do that. That's pretty sad right there. That's a tearjerker. So I would have a really tough time believing that a guy like Liam Neeson would sign up to do a publicity stunt like that. Then we see People magazine said it wasn't a hoax. So right now we're kind of floating in both territories. I hope it's not. We'll see what happens though. In other news, it's a big one, folks. If you haven't been living under a rock, you probably saw that Taylor Swift and traviskelce put a ring on it. They're engaged. It is finally happening. I'm going to tell you, and this comes into a little bit of the sports side of the Pwamps Show, do I need to see Taylor Swift at every game on my TV screen? No, I don't. But she's there. Chiefs had a great season last year. They said, hey, she was killing it when she was at games. We were winning a lot, and now they're getting engaged. Hey, who is going to be the maid of honor? Is it going to be Blake Lively? I know she's got a lot going on with the Justinbaldoni drama, and this ends with us. Or maybe Selena Gomez moves up that list and takes the maid of honor spot. It's going to be really fascinating to see, but traviskelce, Taylor Swift, they're engaged. Apparently getting married at the end of this football season. So we'll keep an eye on it. Now, where does that take us next? Right after this, we're going to munch on the next segment, and we're going to be breaking down our movie that is back in theaters for its 50th anniversary, Jaws. Let's swim that way. Hey, thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it. I'm good with my water. No, you're fine. Thank you. All right, everybody. We're back, and it is time to dive in, pun intended, to our next movie. Like I said, 50 years since Jaws has been on the big screen. June 20th, 1975. That's what hit theaters. That is when Jaws swam on to the big screen. It has been 50 years, folks, and Jaws still stands the test of time. I was able to see it in theaters just a couple nights ago. They did a new 4K restoration. Steven Spielberg greets the audience. He says, "Hey everybody, I just have to tell you all, thanks so much for coming to Jaws. And then he goes on to talk about a little bit of the past history working on Jaws and what it was like. He says, with everything that went wrong on this set, he thought it was going to be the last movie he ever directed. Are you kidding me, Steven Spielberg? Look at where he is now, folks. Perhaps the best director of all time. And that leads us to Jaws. He was only 27 years old. That's my age, basically. I mean, that's crazy to think he got hired to do that movie, did it, they had all those issues, and now look at where he is now. Unbelievable. So, that leads us to our movie. 50 years. Jaws. Where do we start? We start at a little island called Amity Island. First of all, great cast. You got a great lead of 3 guys that really lead this movie, this film. You've got Roy Scheider, you've got Robert Shaw, you've got Richard Dreyfuss. It is a great trio and another great supporting cast with a great story. So, we're at Amity Island. Chief Brody, kind of new to the city, trying to make sure everything goes according to plan. It's the 4th of July, and the beach has to be open. Amity is a tourist town. They have to make sure they get their tourist dollars, as what the mayor says in the film. So, what do we think? We get an opening scene. Lady goes out, she's at a campfire with some of her friends. She decides she's going to go swimming. Her boyfriend, who's kind of under the influence a little bit, he passes out. She's in the water swimming, and for the first time, we hear those infamous 2 notes. And we see the POV from the shark. He's got his prey in sight. He creeps up, she struggles, next thing you know, she's gone. We go to the next day. Chief Brody gets a call. What's happened here? We've got something we need to come look at. He gets to the beach with the guy who passed out. They see a severed arm. They see a body of the girl, and she's been mutilated, folks, by something. What? We don't know yet. So, a lot of things happening. Chief Brody goes to the mayor, says, hey, we've got to shut down the town. He does this numerous times to the mayor. The mayor says no. It's all about money. We got to have our tourist dollars. Town can't succeed if we don't have our money. So, what happens next? There's another attack. Another encounter with whatever is in the water. So, we finally get to a big time meeting. Everyone in town has kind of decided, all right, we need to figure out how we're going to solve this problem. So, Mama Kitchener, her son Alex, is the one who gets eaten. A lot of outrage caused in town, so this meeting happens. Chief Brody's there, the mayor's there, everyone's talking, what are we going to do? We have to hire somebody to get rid of the problem. It's getting into chaos, nobody can talk. Next thing you know, we get an intro that is iconic. On the chalkboard, nails on the chalkboard, people are turning going, what is that? And we finally lay eyes on Quint. Robert Shaw. Nails, he's got a cracker, maybe it's Ritz, maybe it's Townhouse, we don't know. It's a cracker. He eats crackers a lot in Jaws. I actually, after just watching this a couple days ago, I actually just realized that. I thought he was smoking cigarettes, he's eating crackers. Who would have guessed that? Anyway, he decides, hey, here's what I need. I need $10,000. I'm going to go all alone. They don't hire him yet, though. Some other things happen, and then we get introduced to Matt Hooper. Matt Hooper on the scene. He has investigated great white sharks all of his life. He's done the research. He knows all about them, all the species, everything like that. He's on site. He's on the scene. So, what happens? Chief Brody says, hey, we got to go out. Do we hire Quint? Mayor says again, not yet. So, another night at Amity. Everybody swimming, having a good day. Next thing you know, Brody's son has an encounter with the great white. This makes it personal, folks. This leads to a great shot. Chief Brody's making sure his son's okay on the beach. He looks to his left, and you see a nice wide opening of where the shark was just swimming a second ago. Chief Brody making eye contact. It's personal. I'm coming. Next thing you know, we have our crew. Brody, Quint, Hooper. All ready to go. They get out on the water, have many iconic moments with the shark. And it's all accompanied by John Williams' infamous score. The tension is palpable. That leads us to some great moments. We have one scene that, again, after watching a movie, it's so weird how when you watch it on the big screen, and that's why the big screen is so important. I wasn't alive when Jaws first came out. This was the first time I've seen Jaws on the big screen, and it was an absolute privilege. The restoration of this movie made it seem like it could have been a movie that came out today. I'm not even kidding when I say that. But the details you pick up on are what are really crazy. I was watching this movie. I'm like, you know what? What blows my mind is there was a scene that I kind of thought this movie doesn't really need. It's where the three of them, they're under deck, they just finished their dinner, they're having a couple of drinks, a little drunk, and they start to talk about their past a little bit. We hear the backstory of Quint, how a lot of things he was involved with Hiroshima, and Quint and Hooper go at it quite a lot before this, but it's a big bonding moment for the two characters, and also then Brody. They all start singing at the end, then a lot of things happen, and they kind of bond. It's a good scene that I almost thought for a second wasn't needed. I now know it is. So, barrels. Quint has fired many shots at this shark. They get some barrels on it. Shark's going down. He says, can't go down with 3 barrels on him. Can't stay down. What do you know? Shark comes back up. Shark starts doing some serious damage. All 3 of the guys are left flabbergasted. Hooper actually says, have you ever had a shark do that? And Quint goes, with a look of just absolute fear, no. It's a big moment for Quint. It's something that actually changes his trajectory. Like I said, he's been going at it with Hooper for a while. He finally changes his way. It was, I've got my way of hunting sharks. He now looks to Hooper, says, Hooper, what do those batons of yours do? Next thing you know, we flash, they've got a diver's cage out. They're installing it. Hooper says he's going to poison this shark. He's going to pump some CCs into him. So he gets in the cage. It's a big moment. They kind of have like a, I don't want to say happy, but a nice little farewell where it's kind of lighthearted before really stuff gets serious. So Hooper's in the cage. He descends. He's got his baton. He has this great shot where he goes, picks off the cork off the needle. We see the baton. He turns. Boom. Shark is coming at him. It's the first time he sees this thing underwater and full scale, folks, and it is big. It's a massive great white. Earlier, Hooper says it's a 20-footer. Quint responds, 25, 3 tons of them. This is a big shark. So, underneath the water, Hooper's looking everywhere, can't find the shark. Next thing you know, turns, boom, this shark is attacking the cage. Going after the cage crazily. Hooper fighting for his life, stabbing the shark with everything he can, ends up fighting it off. No, he doesn't. Next thing you know, shark comes back. Hooper, finally, we think he's dead. You can't even see him in there. The shark has taken over the cage. We see him swim down to the water, but we don't know Hooper's fate. We see the shark float away. Meanwhile, up on the boat, Quint and Chief Brody, they don't know what's going on. They reel the cage up. Hooper is there. They fear the worst. They think it's just the 2 of them. So, what do we have next? An insane climax. Here we go. So, up on board, Hooper, still nobody knows where he is. Quint and Brody, all of a sudden, the shark dives on to the boat. The orca, the boat, slowly descending into the water. It's been flooded. The engines are bad. Nothing's happening. Quint fighting for his life. They're all falling down the hill. Brody's on top of him. Falls down, oxygen tank, clamps onto the hand, and Quint goes flying towards the open mouth of this great white shark. It's a big moment. Next thing you know, Quint, half his body is engulfed in this shark. We see it bite down. Quint, gone. That leaves just Chief Brody. Wow. Here we go. Brody underneath looking for some stuff, and now the engulfed water. He's in the water. The boat is now totally sinking. There is really not much time left. Shark breaks into the boat. Brody, out of fear, backs up. He can't believe it. Finds an oxygen tank, waits for the right moment, chucks it into the shark's mouth. The shark retreats. Next thing you know, we see Brody getting a rifle. Puts it on his shoulder. He's got a big staff. He climbs up to the very top of the boat, the only part of the boat that is still above water at this point. and it's a big moment. We hear the music. Dun 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 dun. Shark is coming right at him. He gets in position, pulls the rifle over his shoulder, and takes aim. Brody fires 6 times at this shark. Finally, he says, "Blow up!" Fires, boom. Shark explodes. That is it. Shark's gone. Chief Brody lets out a major exclamation of just excitement, and it's kind of a relief scream. He starts looking, he's like, unbelievable, I did it. But then he takes a second, he looks around, kind of realizes he's alone. Hooper's gone, Quint's gone, it's just him. Or so we thought. Next thing you know, we see some air bubbles. Hooper emerges from the water. He swims over to Chief Brody. Brody's kind of still looking at where the shark was. He does a turn and he goes, "Oh." They share a little laugh. Next thing you know, Hooper, Quint. No. That's how Hooper finds out Quint is no more. We then go to our last scene. We get a little bit of uplifting music. It's Hooper, it's Brody, and they're using the barrels to swim back to shore. Final lines we hear of Jaws. Chief Brody goes, "What day is it?" Hooper goes, "Wednesday." It's Tuesday, I think. Chief Brody says, "I think the tide is with us." We go to credits. Jaws is a movie that was the first summer blockbuster. It's been 50 years. It's one of the best movies of all time for a reason. And boy, did it put Steven Spielberg on the map. Did it help put John Williams even more on the map? This is Jaws, folks. If you haven't seen it, now's your chance. It's back in theaters. If you have seen it, you know what we all love about it. It's Jaws. It's big. It's a classic. It's one of the best. Go do yourselves a favor and see it again. This has been Jaws. Thanks for tuning. All right, everybody, we are inside the room where it happens. Well, not actually the room where it happens, but we're going to be talking about Hamilton. So I have seen Hamilton twice on stage, and I had always listened to the album before I finally got a chance to see it, and once I saw it, I fell in love with it. It's actually the 10th year now, the 10th anniversary of Hamilton. And I tell you what, you can see why it has been such a powerful force on the Broadway and theater and stage scene. It has a great cast. Lin-Manuel Miranda, Leslie Odom Jr., Christopher Jackson, Renee Ellis Goldsberry. That's just to name a few. Okay? People that have done some major products in the past. Shout out to Jonathan Croft. He's outstanding as King George. And there is just so much music in Hamilton that you know and come to love. It's on Disney Plus right now. You may have seen it. You may have seen it on stage, but next week we're going to be talking about it, and here's why. Hamilton is coming back to theaters on September 5th. It's your chance to see it on the big screen, which is probably the next best way to see it if you can't see it on stage. So, we'll be breaking it all down. Next week, we're talking all things Hamilton. And I'm pretty dang excited about it, folks. Be there. Hamilton, next week.
Pwamps!
All right, everybody. For all my Hamilton fans, I wanted to bring up one more thing. Leslie Odom Jr., who played Aaron Burr in the original Broadway cast, he is returning to Hamilton to celebrate the show's 10th anniversary. He's going to be there from September 9th to November 26th. Tickets are still available. I'm excited about that, and I know a lot of you Hamilton fans will be very excited about that. Now, we come to the final segment of the Pwamps Show. What does that consist of? Well, here's what's going to happen. So usually, we're going to dive into a retro movie. We've got many decades that we could talk about here. We got a wheel. It's going to pop up here next week. You could see a Golden Age movie. You could see a 70s movie. You could see a 2010s movie. You just don't know what you're going to see. Yes, I've got them all kind of in my playbook, but we're not going to know until I say it. This week, though, is special. It's the premiere episode of the Pwamps Show. So, what better time than now to have a Pwamps pick? Here's what we're doing. We're going to watch 1954's Rear Window. Alfred Hitchcock, one of the masters of horror. This is a classic, folks. If you have not seen this movie, you need to see it. And that's why I'm giving it to you as an assignment to watch. Here's the cast. Jimmy Stewart, always outstanding. Grace Kelly, she's fantastic. And Raymond Burr. How kind of ironic. Rear Window, you've got actor named Raymond Burr. Hamilton, you've got a guy named Aaron Burr. Kind of funny, right? So, quick update on what to expect with Rear Window. Jimmy Stewart, he's in a wheelchair. He's in his house. Grace Kelly, co-stars. She's one of his close friends. Jimmy Stewart thinks he's seen a murder. He's looking outside his window. He's kind of on like a house arrest. He can't leave the house. He's looking out. He's got his binoculars. The iconic poster, you actually see him looking out his binoculars all the time. So, did he just see Raymond Burr murder his wife? Uh-oh. You'll just have to watch Rear Window and find out for yourself. We're going to talk about it next week, folks. Watch Rear Window. We'll talk then. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Pwamps Entertainment Show. So, what did we talk about? We talked about Jaws, 50th anniversary. We talked about Hamilton a little bit. We're going to dive more into that next week. We also talked about a little news, and I gave you all the homework assignment to watch Rear Window. If you haven't, it's a great one. We're going to have a lot of fun on the show. By the way, we're also going to discuss some TV shows at some point. So if you like some TV shows, be ready. It's going to be fun. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you go ahead and subscribe? Maybe leave a little like, a little comment. Do it right now, folks. Have a good one.